Welcome everyone! In this video, we are going to be diving into the brand new season of Pokemon Go Battle League, the season of Rising Heroes, also known as Season 14 of Go Battle League. It is finally here, we finally have an announcement, and we're going to dive deep into that. So without further ado, let's dive right into this. Go Battle League will start Wednesday at normal times that leagues typically reset, and there's a lot to go over here. So we have everything kicking off, of course, as per usual, with the Open Great League being available for the first 2 weeks, along with a couple of specialty cups. We've got the Fantasy Cup Ultra League Edition for the first week, and the second week will be the Color Cup. And of course, we're going to dive deeper into the new specialty cups. We've also got the Ultra League for the next 2 weeks, along with the Psychic Cup Great League Edition and the Mountain Cup Great League Edition. So very nice. I do like that they are giving us some Great League options along with the bigger leagues like the Ultra League and the Master League. So that is always nice. Always gives people a second option if they don't have the Pokemon available for those bigger leagues. And then we've got the Master League for the next 2 weeks after the Ultra League cycle, as per usual, along with the Little Cup and the Spring Cup, Great League Edition. And then we've got all three leagues along with the Evolution Cup, which we have seen in a previous season. And then it recycles again, Great League for another 2 weeks, along with the Weather Cup Ultra League Edition. We have not yet seen that. We had the Weather Cup Great League Edition, so now we have an Ultra League version along with the Master Premier Cup, so that'll be interesting. And then we've got the Ultra League again, along with another Little Cup, but there's no asterisk on this one, so I don't know if that's a mistake. I can't imagine them doing two Little Cups, so we'll have to see about that. A lot of times the first run of the new season announcement can have a few errors, so we'll have to see on that one. I'm not quite sure if they'll do two Little Cups in one season. That would be very interesting. And then we've got the Sunshine Cup Great League Edition along with Ultra League, and then we've got Master League again along with the Element Cup Little Edition, so that'll be interesting. And we've got the Catch Cup, another Catch Cup. Yay for the final week. We all love those, don't we? And then we've got a couple of Go Battle Days. That seems to be the new trend now with every season of Go Battle League. I think they're just only going to do 2. We have seen 3 in the past. Of course, I don't mind having 3, but 2 is fine as well. The first one will be on March 25th, and it will be featuring Palmer. You get free battle-themed research available. Rewards include gloves inspired by Palmer from Diamond and Pearl. The second one will be on May 14th, and there's actually a paid battle-themed research ticket, which is very interesting. We've not yet seen that, so it'll be interesting to see what we get for that. It's $1, so kind of like the Community Day paid research. You pay $1 and get access to some nice goodies when you complete the research. And of course, as per usual, 4 times Stardust for win rewards, and you get a maximum of 20 battles per day. Pretty standard. And then we've got the rewards here, catch encounters. Not much has really changed. The newest one that appears to be Dragonair. So be able to catch some Dragonairs and some other pretty standard catch encounters here. And then we've got the research pass that we can pick up for free. That is very important, guys. Please do those, because it gives you access to some elite TMs. I know a lot of you may not have as many as you'd like to see, so that is a great opportunity to get some elite TMs. Definitely do pick up that research. Very valuable. As in my humble opinion, you can never have enough of those elite TMs. And then we've got the avatar items that we get. And this season is featuring Palmer from Brilliant Diamond Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl. I always get a little tongue-tied on that one. And now, so let's see what we've got for these cups here. We've got the Fantasy Cup. Very interesting. It's the Ultra League Edition, so it can only take place at a max CP limit of 2,500, and only Dragon, Steel, and Fairy type are eligible. As the name implies, the Fantasy Cup. And of course, there are some bans. They're banning G-Fisk and Cobalion, which makes a lot of sense. Both of those would destroy every other Steel type in the meta, as well as potentially the Fairies, as Cobalion does have access to Iron Head, I believe. So Cobalion and G-Fisk are banned. It makes a lot of sense to have those banned. And then we've got the Color Cup Great League Edition, of course. It's going to take place at the Great League CP limit of 1,500 or less. And only Fire, Water, Grass, and Electric types are eligible. So very interesting. It makes sense. Fire Red, Water Blue, Grass Green, Electric Yellow. Those are the colors. Hence the name Color Cup. So should be pretty interesting. So that one is seeming to be a bit like those weather cups, so should be very interesting. So we'll see moving forward with that one, how that meta shapes out. And then we've got the Mountain Cup Great League Edition. Only Ice, Ground, Rock, and Steel types are allowed, and of course they are banning Swampert. That would be... Fine. It's good that they are actually recognizing which Pokemon would be broken in these new metas. So hats off to them for making the appropriate bans. That is very much appropriate, as Swampert would basically wipe out 3/4 of the entire meta. So very appropriate ban there. That's another one that should be pretty interesting. Ice, Ground, Rock, and Steel. Very interesting. Should be fun. And then we've got the Spring Cup Great League Edition. A lot of new cups. I think this season has to have the most new cups that they've introduced, and I don't mind it. It's nice to shake things up a little bit. So the Spring Cup will be at the Great League format, and only Water, Grass, and Fairy are eligible, and they are banning Toxapex. So that's an appropriate ban there. I can't think of anything that may be slipping through the cracks there, so that one should be pretty fun. Maybe Tentacruel. Tentacruel could pose some problems. It's pretty bulky. It's quite bulky. Almost as bulky as Toxapex, but not quite there. But that one could be a bit of an issue, but we'll see. And then we've got the Sunshine Cup Great League Edition. That's going to be normal, fire, grass, and ground type Pokemon, and they are banning Charizard. So that makes a lot of sense to a degree. They could have let Charizard slide, but I guess in their little simulations, maybe Charizard was a little too OP for this particular meta. Of course, you do have Swampert to keep Charizard in check, along with some others, but Charizard is going to be banned for the time being for this one. They don't usually unban Pokemon. They'll add bans, but they generally don't unban. So I think it's safe to say that Charizard may be sitting this one out. So that one should be interesting. Sunshine Cup, and then we've got the Psychic Cup. Only Psychic are allowed, and they are banning Mew. I think that's about right. We did have another Psychic Cup in a previous season, and I don't remember Mew being banned, or did we have a Psychic Cup? I may be thinking of the Willpower Cup. You guys let me know in the comments. But Psychic Cup, another mono-typing type of cup. Pretty straightforward. And then we've got the Little Cup. They're not banning Bronzor, which is very interesting. We all know how insanely overpowered Bronzor is for the Little Cup, so we will see how that goes. And then we've got the Evolution Cup, which we've had previously, and it is the Great League Edition. But Evolution Cup Great League Edition, and only Pokemon that have evolved at least once and can evolve again. So middle stage Pokemon. Think Vigoroth. Those middle stage ones are the only ones allowed in the Evolution Cup. We had that in the past, wasn't too bad. Had a lot of fun in that one. And then we've got the Weather Cup Ultra League Edition. So this time around, it's going to be in the Ultra League. Last time we had it in the Great League. So only fire, water, ice, and rock types are eligible in this one. So that should be very interesting to see how that meta shapes out. And then we've got the Element Cup Little Edition. So I think that is one of those little cups that we saw on the schedule. So I was thinking there's no way they're doing two of the same cup within the same season. So it looks like the Little Cup, Element Cup Little Edition, which they have done in the past. I don't know why they're calling it the Little Edition. Maybe they plan on doing a non-little format for that, but it's always been in the Little Cup format, which is a max CP limit of 500. And only water, fire, water, and grass types are eligible for that one. So we've seen that before. I guess I'm getting hung up on the Little Edition that they're tagging onto that. So we'll have to see. But to my knowledge, it's always been in the little format. if I'm remembering correctly. And then we've got a catch cup. So basically all of you hang on to some Pokemon that might be good for PvP as you catch throughout the season. I think the best way to approach these catch cups is to just plan ahead for them if you even plan on playing the final week of the season. That's my best advice there. And it's going to take place at the Great League format. And now we've got move updates. A little underwhelming, my friends, I must admit. Not much has really changed, so let's dive into this here. This is always my favorite part of the new season announcements, and I gotta say, I'm a little underwhelmed, but let's dive into it nonetheless. We've got Exploud, Flygon, and Como-O getting the new Charge Attack Boom Burst. That does not change very much at all. Doesn't really shift the meta anyway. I think it doesn't make Exploud any better. It's just too expensive, and it doesn't. What it needed was a good fast move, in addition to something like Boom Burst. It already has decent charge moves. It needed a better fast move. So I think they got a little lazy with these move updates. I can't see a reason having Boom Burst over the conventional moveset that you would have on Flygon or Como-O either. I think those were fine where they were, but maybe it could come in handy for a particular specialty cup. We will have to see. But those three, nothing really doesn't change anything. What is interesting, however, is the Whimsicott update. Whimsicott now has access to Fairy Wind. And you got to keep in mind, this is not a flying type, although it is floating. It's a fairy grass type. So anything that can break up the Lantern, Noctowl / Medicham core that we've seen in the Great League last season is always welcomed. So Whimsicott will break that up to an extent. Although Medicham does still have Ice Punch, and it's an answer to Lantern, basically, but Noctowl is still going to be overpowered in the meta, it seems, and that is okay for now. It's fine. We just have to build around it. I just wish that they had given us more Pokemon into the meta. Whimsicott, yes, it addresses Lantern, but that's about it. That's all we're really addressing. And Medicham to an extent. Whimsicott will be very interesting. Has about average bulk, I would say. It's bulkier than it might appear. And it has a decent charge move pool, and having access to Fairy Wind just makes it a lot more viable. I definitely anticipate seeing this thing get a lot more play. It'll have a similar play dynamic to something like a Jumpluff, but slightly less bulky, I would say. Has access to Grass Knot, Hurricane, and Moonblast, so very decent charge move pool. Not much in terms of a bait move, but having Fairy Wind, that sort of negates that to an extent, although I do believe you always definitely want to have a bait move in your charge move pool, but you can still get by without it. So Whimsicott will be very interesting. We'll have to see. And Jellicent, this is massive. Jellicent now has access to Surf, so look out for Jellicent becoming a lot more meta relevant in both the Ultra League and in the Great League. Ultra League to a much higher extent, I would say, but it will definitely see some increased play in the Great League as well. Having access to Surf, oh man, with Stab, that's gonna be pretty darn good for Jellicent moving forward. So Jellicent getting some love, definitely going to be much more meta relevant in both the Great and Ultra League, more so the Ultra League, I would say. And that's about it. Like I said, the move updates, very much underwhelming. I wish that they had done a little bit more. They didn't nerf anything this season. Boom Burst to those three doesn't really change anything at all. The two takeaways would be Whimsicott getting some increased playability, as well as Jellicent being even better. That's a massive improvement over Bubble Beam. And yeah, so that is season 14, guys. The new season is set to drop tomorrow. I guess they're going from Thursdays back to Wednesdays, so look out for that. It's going to be a lot of fun. And the new season has kicked off. A lot more specialty cups that we can dip our toes into and see how they shake out. And yeah, should be a lot of fun. But guys, I had a blast. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, I thank you for watching. and keep up the grind. Thank you, guys.